a tremendous movie director as well. It is Mr. Tim Robbins, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, please sit yourself down. Good Lord. You are... Here we go. Tell me about your childhood. See, you're
6'5".
a very, very tall human being. Congratulations on that.
On my
Yeah. How are you feeling? Because I heard that today you have not been feeling too well. You've been a bit unwell today.
Yeah, I ate something bad for breakfast, and I kind of had a little incident.
So...
Yeah. There we go.
Good
Come
man.
on,
That's
let's
what we
do
want.
it.
How are you feeling now,
I'm
though?
hoping to vomit live on the show.
You know, part of me would really like to see that. the part of me that wants to take this suit home and keep it, doesn't want to see that happen. What was it you ate, though? Do you know what it was?
It was a
hollandaise sauce.
Yeah.
Because that's made with, like, cream, butter,
yeah.
rich cream, oil.
Any one of those ingredients, if they'd been laying out for a couple hours, would have...
In this heat,
yeah.
curdling inside you.
There you go.
Your guts, it must be roiling in there.
Keep it coming.
Imagine that. It's like eating... I once ate, accidentally, like half a pound of butter on its own.
Accidentally eat half a pound of butter on its own.
I thought it was cream. Congratulations, by the way, on your Oscar.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if you saw the film that Tim was in, Mystic River, starring Sean Penn alongside him, directed by Clint Eastwood. A tremendous movie.
Oh, yeah.
A tremendous movie and a fabulous performance, and well deserved of that. Congratulations.
Thank
it
you
really
very
is
much.
A magnificent film. How is it working with Clint as a director? What's that like?
There's Clint and then there's the others. I mean, he's just, he's extraordinary. Extraordinary. It's a very quiet set, you know, and people shouting and people throwing hissy fits and stuff like that. And with Clint, it's a very kind of, very quiet, zen-like environment. And he never says action, and no one ever, you know, claps the board or anything. It just, everything's kind of quiet, and then it starts, and then he says, go. And then at the end, he says, all right. Instead of cut, he's all right.
Because he's Clint Eastwood.
You only do one take, usually.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic because you get to go home in 6 hours.
Wow. But how does that compare to you as a director, then? Because if you admire his style there, no bells and whistles, no shouting, no action, all that. Yeah. One take.
Yeah.
Are you similar?
I hope to be in the future. I wasn't when I did my last film.
And what was your last film was
Cradle Will Rock, yeah.
Dead Man Walking, that was your work as well, of course. And what a film to direct. Congratulations. There's no kind of like, this isn't like someone trying to direct movies. You actually know how to do it.
Well, thank you. I'm directing theater right now.
Yeah, I'm not so interested in that.
Well,
but while we're on the subject, and now that you have taken control, in a very subtle way, we've got to hand it to the man. He's done it in a very... And his guts are roiling from butter and prawns and probably, you know, flies in there. You know, he's struggling. He's taken control of the interview marvellously. What's the play about? Did you write this?
Yeah, I wrote it and directed it. It's at the Riverside Studios. It's a play called Embedded. It's a play about a journalist in Iraq, and it's also about the kind of decision makers who put them there. It's a burlesque kind of satire at times,
so
and at other times it's quite moving. It follows the story of 3 soldiers. One that's kind of modeled on Jessica Lynch, and treat them with a lot of respect, but we don't treat the people in Washington with a lot of respect.
So this is something presumably a subject as well as a theme pretty close to your heart.
Yeah, I mean, my country went to war.
But why then write a play about it? I mean, was your default setting, this is the way you deal with things that you're not happy with, or?
Well, it's one way to do it. It's one productive way to do it, to deal with, you know, anger and frustration. I wrote it, you know, just at my desk and called up some friends, and 3 weeks later we were performing it, so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Now, you said that this is something that angered you, and that's why, obviously, you funneled your unhappiness in the situation in this way. But what's the situation in America in terms of, you know, opinion givers, the people who control the media, the people who write about things? Do you think the war gets criticised as much over there as it does here? Because over here, I think we have a pretty vocal press when it comes to stating their dissatisfaction with that kind of
Well,
thing.
as a matter of fact, I also should mention Code 46. It comes out, I think, next week.
By the British director Michael Winterbottom.
That's correct. And when I was over here, I was reading your papers and seeing your news coverage, and I was quite impressed, because we don't get that anymore in the United States. You had more of a debate here, and you had more of a papers, and I saw that there was a different kind of coverage that was happening here than in America. And I was impressed with that, and I actually put a couple of the journalistic things into the play.
So you took some...
Asked his permission and then put it in the play.
I'm glad you asked his permission. Also, I've had to ask you to leave the building.
By the way, how many BBC buildings are there? I've been to 4 at least.
We own most of London.
Yeah, okay. Do you want any of the churches or...
I'll tell you what, stick around later. I'll show you where the bunkers are, just in case. I've got a couple of keys. I said that maybe you're preaching to the converted here already, because the sort of people who would go to the theatre and go and see a play about that kind of on your side, where you're coming from.
Well, possibly, but in New York, I was in the play for a while in New York, and I could see in the audience that it was about 20% every night were particularly sympathetic, and if they were in the choir, they were singing flat.
The Riverside Theatre here in London until you said October 23rd? Yep. Let's talk about, can we go back to talk about some movies again?
Yeah.
Because you've made movies, I'm sure many people out here have favourite films. I know one film which tops a lot of people's favourite list is the film which I would have thought its fairly humble origins would not have given for a start. You wouldn't necessarily think that would have the impact it had. But it wasn't that huge a hit when it first came out, was it?
No, I think part of the problem was that no one could remember the title. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many on the street and say, you know what, I really love that film, Scrimshaw, Shanksy, Reduction.
It's 10 years now since that was released. Anniversary of the show this evening, we have Noel Gallagher celebrating 10 years that the Oasis first album came out, 10 years ago. Which is your favourite album?
I have no idea.
Okay, well... How about, we'll edit this later, have a look up there and just say they're all so good.
They're all so fantastic.
Yeah, we have a clip, I think, of Shawshank Redemption, which I'd love to show, because when we have people on the show, I love to enjoy some of what they've done in the past. So this is for you fans of the Scrimshank Reduction.
Pacific Ocean? Shit. About to scare me to death, something that big.
I didn't shoot my wife, and I didn't shoot her lover. Whatever mistakes I made, I paid for them and then some. That hotel, that boat, I don't think that's too much to ask.
I don't think you ought to be doing this to yourself, Andy. This is just shitty pipe dreams. Yeah, and you're in here, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, right. That's the way it is. It's down there, and I'm in here. I guess, Billy. Get busy living.
The Shawshank Redemption. Morgan Freeman, what a tremendous actor.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's made some terrible films, but even in bad films, he brings a quality and a class and a gravitas that almost rescues even the most lackluster.
It's an amazing voice, too.
Yeah.
It just always makes me feel, you know, calm.
Tim, let's talk about you, because I have a theory about you, Tim, which is that I think the reason why you really register with the audience when you play people who have a past, they're kind of wounded in some way psychologically, or they're hounded in some way, because I think because you're not that good looking, I think, is what it is. Don't get me wrong, you're not bad looking. I would put us on the same level, kind of like, we're probably about, out of 10, we're about a 6, and then celebrity adds 2, okay? Yeah. So we get away with being an 8, even though we're 5.5, 6, really, okay?
But if you have some money, you get up to be a 9.
Even a 10, if you're very, very lucky.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Look at Andrew Lloyd Webber, you know? Josh was 10 to start with, he's off the scale now. Do you think that, in some ways, that's helped you?
I think part of the trick in acting is to try to look different when from part to part. Yeah. And so you do things to yourself in preparation for the role, and sometimes you do a lot of sit-ups, and sometimes you try to read a book, and sometimes you try to change your appearance in some way. It's kind of different hair, or different eye color, or different, you know.
So you change your eye color, you use lenses and that kind of stuff?
You can do that. I've done it once, yeah.
Now, your partner, Susan Sarandon, I read somewhere, she chooses a different scent for each movie, for each character she plays.
Don't believe everything you read.
That's not true?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe you didn't know this. Are you not attentive? Now, you're kind of double off your family, of course, because Susan picked up one for the movie that you directed, Dead Man Walking, which must have been a wonderful experience.
That was nice, yeah.
I would have thought. Do you have them somewhere special, or are they just kind of...
They're in a room alone. With their lights out.
Yeah.
A little candle burning. We're trying to mate them.
Yeah. But what a tremendous achievement that would be. I mean, does it mean much
what,
to you?
To mate the Oscars?
Yeah.
That would be a tremendous achievement. Have all these little Oscars running around.
Does it mean much to you, though, getting an Oscar? I mean, there's something to it, and it's...
I'm not getting one. No, it was an honor, you know. Your peers are voting for you, and especially for that film, and for my friend Sean to win it on the same night. We had a great night that night.
Yeah. Let me talk about politics again a little bit. Let's go back to American politics, because I think we're all a little bit worried about what's happening in America these days. Okay? I mean, we've always been a bit worried about America, obviously, but more than almost anyone. There's just a picture of the kind of... That kind of says so much, doesn't it? God bless him, but he should... you know, he shouldn't be allowed out on his own. He should be in town, shouldn't he?
Born with a silver spoon up
somewhere, yeah. Up his Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. But you know,
yeah, that's the funny. The image makers on him are brilliant. They're just brilliant. They somehow created a cowboy out of a private school lad from, you know. Is private school the same as it is? You know?
Private school, we call them public schools.
Right.
But now we sometimes call them private schools as well. I'm very confused.
Anyway, he's a rich kid that went to Ivy League schools, and he's somehow now a cowboy.
Yeah. They've made him the Wild West hero.
You ever seen him on a horse?
No.
No, you haven't. Can't be a real cowboy.
Now, this is what really worries me about America, is I'm beginning to think that people in America, democracy has failed us. Because it seems to me they elect people for any other reason than knowing how to do the job. I give you Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, he's a bodybuilder, you know? I wouldn't let a bodybuilder park my car for me. And he's the governor of one of your biggest, most wealthiest states.
Yeah. How'd that happen?
Well, how did that happen?
Well, they put a little trickery and they had to they recalled this candidate. They were very wise in who they recalled because the guy wasn't very popular and had done some things that were kind of shaky.
So the whole system does seem to be shady these days, because the way, if we're to believe some of the things we've heard...
Well, the only way to get elected is to have millions of dollars, and so in order to get millions of dollars, you have to make business deals, and so by the time you get to Washington, you're representing your business deals, not the people that voted for it.
I want you to get off your backside and run for something. Never mind placing, they're fine, they're a diversion for the middle classes, okay? Get off your jacksie, get out there, say, remember me, Shawshank guy, give us a vote, boom. I don't know if boom means the same in America as it does here, but you know what I'm saying.
You know what happens, though, is they start looking into your past.
And then Howard the Duck might surface.
Here you go.
No, this is a sad thing. This is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
We've got to move on, we've got other guests, but here we go. Before you go, I just want to say Howard the Duck was a comic book which I love. I loved Howard the Duck.
It was a great comic book.
And then they made a movie, look what they did to the duck.
Yeah.
It's like Jade from the Big Brother house.
Walked on the set the first day, and I just, inside I said, oh, shit, we're in trouble. Because I think they miscast the duck.
Well, what was that duck? It's not a real duck.
First of all, too clean.
Too clean? The duck's too clean?
It's too clean. Look at his white. It's all white.
Howard
the Duck is a... You show the picture of the...
Well, here's Howard the Duck. You see these...
The cigar-chomping kind of...
He was beaten down by
That's Howard the Duck.
He was a rough and ready character. Imagine Humphrey Bogart should have played Howard the Duck. He was like Bogart.
Exactly. They made him too cute.
Yeah. And also, but was there a person restricted growth in there? You notice how careful I'm being?
That was very politically correct. You mean, a little person?
I mean, a person, a tiny weeny...
Yeah, well, yes, it was. It was two of them.
Two of them? Why put two in the two? He's meant to be small.
No, they had a kid, this poor kid. He was 12 years old.
A kid and a dwarf in the suit.
But
I think humane.
He was a little person kid.
Jeez.
And we were in trouble the first day. We're on the set, right?
And you didn't speak out.
I was just I did one of my first movies. I'm not going to say. I'm going to say. So here's the duck, and he's standing up, and we do it one take, we do two takes, and then the duck is like this. I'm hot.
Was it a duck suit? Yeah, well, needs to
12 years old, they shouldn't put him in a duck suit. No. So they got another little person who was an adult that didn't complain so much.
Well, you know, the terrible thing is, you can't get that movie now for love nor money. And I have tried. You can't get it.
I have quite a few copies.
Well, I've been after one for donkey's ears. I tell you what, I'm going to come and see the play.
All right.
In return, the very least you can give is give me one of your Howard the Duck movies. Come on.
All right.
Oh, what a
I
deal.
even have my Howard the Duck documentary I did.
Ah.
I mean, we did 6 months on that film, and I got real bored, and I bought a video camera.
Oh,
and I have a behind-the-scenes thing, and at one point, yeah, it's like I'm in my trailer. I get kicked out of my trailer by the Teamsters, and so I go looking for a place to stay, and they tell me I can stay in the restroom. And so I go up into the restroom, and I open the door, and I had the guy playing Howard in full costume going, "Get the hell out of here!"
That sounds like the greatest story never told. I wish you the best of luck with the play. It sounds like a cracking subject. The friends that I have who went to see it the other night said it was tremendous.
Oh, thank
and
you.
I hope your health picks up. Stay away from the dodgy hollandaise.
All right, thanks.
Mr. Tim Robbins, ladies and gentlemen. Tim, marvellous, thank you. I hope you feel a bit better. You can go now, yeah. Oh, that was great, thank you. Enjoy the summer. Mr. Tim Robbins. What a splendid guest.